YouTube, W7MVP here. Hey, I wanted to go over fitting a Red Wing boot. When I started looking at Red Wings, there's all different ways of saying, hey, get a half size smaller, get a full size smaller, and then how not a lot about width on there. So I wanted to kind of go through the process that I did and then how it turned out for me and kind of let you know that it worked. These are my Iron Rangers. Like I said, fitting is important with these. It's a big investment. You got $300 in these boots. I don't know about you, but for me, that's a lot of money. And I want them to fit. I want them to feel good and not have any kind of purchase regret. So, what I did was, I thought it through, kind of go through an analytical way of sizing these. So the first time I went to a Red Wing store, they measured me, put on there, and on these things you can't really feel where your toe is. So walk around with it. The lady said, well, those are too tight for you. Let's try this one. And we went round and round. And I ended up just saying, hey, I'll come back. And main reason I said I'll come back is because they didn't have the actual boots that I wanted. They were going to have to order them. So let me show you the process I do. What I do is I take the laces out and I put my foot in and I stand up in them and I shove my foot all the way in to the end of them. Okay? And this, with the laces out, will allow your foot and ankle to go forward. And what I do is I want to push my feet until I feel the very tips of my toes coming to the end, and then I want to look in the back and see about 1/4 of an inch or less. And that gives you some room for foot to swell and to have a sock. I wear thin socks, but this is, you could go 3/8 of an inch, whatever you want to do, a thumb, a finger, just so you, but space it. The hard thing is when you put these on and you don't have any point of reference, you don't know where your toes are. So I came up with, there's one way to know. Stand up in them, push your feet all the way back, take the flashlight of your camera and shine it back there and you'll see how much space you have. So that's my 2 cents on that. I hope it helps. There's probably other different ways. I ended up with a half size smaller and it worked really well. The other thing was width. I did not really know how to size a width. I have a pretty wide foot. I'm a D, middle D to E. So these are D's. And when you first get your Red Wing, they're up like this. You can't really hardly see, I don't know, is that called the welt here or the side of your sole? And you put them on and they're really tight. But what's going to happen as you wear them, they're going to spread out over that, like that. And these really, they're not over the edge and you don't want them to go over the edge, but you want to go up to it. Because one of the worst things you can do is buy a boot that's too wide. You're going to have side-to-side play, and then when you're standing and you're pushing against something laterally, you're going to have slip, and then when you walk, you don't really have a lot of support. So what I did on it, I was like, well, let me think about it. I flipped my boot over, or the one I was going to purchase, and I slapped my foot up there, and I said, well, I want to make sure my foot doesn't go much outside where the stitching is. I actually wanted it to go out, but I wanted it somewhere here and I wanted to make sure it didn't go outside the sole. And if you do that, you will ensure that you don't have too much overhang of your leather on that. But at the same time, you'll be able to make sure that your foot's not here and you're sliding back and forth. So I went with a D. When I got them, they were tight, miserable for probably the first 2 or 3 miles of walking. I wore them half days or light days that where I was going to be in the office. They broke in really well, and how you can see, I do have overhang here on each side, and I think they look better that way. They turned out. Again, these are the Rough and Toughs. See that leather? I like how Rough and Toughs do. I put the Obernoffs on there. It's not the liquid, it's the gel. And I think it comes out. They got really good patina and good character. That's my 2 cents on fitting a Red Wing. Hope it helps. Have a good one. W7 MVP 73's out.